Hi, it's Monica Ensign again with Imperfect Pearls, and we're here to talk to you today about how to buy a swimsuit. Now, out of all the different women that we know, not a single one enjoys the task of shopping for a swimsuit. So we came up with a few different ideas to make it, maybe even a pleasurable experience, but at least get through it unscathed. So we've broken this video down into 3 different sections. First of which are tips on getting through the experience in a fairly joyful way. Number 2, discussing the different types of body types there are. And number 3, finding the different types of suits that would best suit you. And now to talk about our tips, first of all, we have 6 different tips for you today. First of which, and this is a very important one, go in on an empty stomach. Now that might seem fairly simple, I guess, but I think a lot of times this has happened where, you're not really putting everything together, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm starving, I gotta go grab lunch, I want to do that before I even have to deal with this swimsuit thing. Then you go into the dressing room and you're under these blaring fluorescent lights, and suddenly you're feeling not so svelte, and suddenly you have to be half naked and staring at yourself in a 3-way mirror. It's really not setting yourself up for success. So tip number 1, go in on an empty stomach. Now tip number 2, walk into the place wearing an outfit that you already feel fabulous in, so that you walk in, feeling like you got your game together from the beginning. And tip number 3, make a playlist on your iPod of at least 10 songs, but preferably about 20, of just fun, positive, happy, great songs that put you in a good mood, make you want to boogie. They're empowering and they're getting you where you want to be, because that's part of this whole experience is just not letting it get into your head that you're going to be seeing your flaws under a microscope, essentially. And here's another tip that is hugely key to this whole thing. In fact, this is the center point of what Imperfect Pearls is and stands for. And I want every woman especially, but man too, to understand this point right here. Your worth is not measured by your measurements. This is key, and if you need a reminder of this, I will send you one. Go to our website, imperfectpearls.com. Send me an email from our contact page, and I will send you this sticker as a friendly and helpful reminder to you, because this is key. Now, our 4th tip is to spend no more than 20 minutes in the dressing room, because that way you don't have enough time to really go over every detail and flaw and varicose vein or whatever it is that you're seeing in the mirror. You don't have time to really ruminate over all of those things. You just get in and get out. And you need to go in with various different sizes of each of the suits that you choose, and choose no more than 10 suits so that you're not overwhelmed when you go in there. And you need to adjust your attitude to all business. So it's not harsh criticisms, it's not mean, it's not anything like that. It's you simply walk in, you try on your first suit, okay, does that work, doesn't it? Maybe it should be a little bit bigger, or maybe it should be, cinching me in more on top, or whatever the case might be. But you need to approach it from a business-like stance and not a personal, harsh critique type of a deal. And then, lastly, you need to know your body type and choose a suit that flatters your figure. Now, this is the second part of our video. You need to understand the different kinds of body types that there are. First of which is the triangular body type. Second of which is the inverted triangular type. And then we have the rectangular type. And last but not least, the hourglass type. Now, everyone falls somewhere in those 4 categories of bodies. And so, let's go into a little bit further explanation of each of those types. Now, first of all, our triangular body types are smaller on top and larger on the bottom. And here are an example of 3 of the different types of suits that would best suit you. Now, you should have higher cut legs in any of the suit types. You can wear a bolder print on top because you want to emphasize the top, which is smaller, and keep the eye away from the bottom area, which is larger. And an asymmetrical cut like this flatters because it kind of helps bring your eye down and even towards the top as opposed to on the bottom. And you can do something else that's called color blocking, where it's a little bit lighter on top and a little bit darker color on the bottom. And again, it just brings your eye up and kind of tricks your eye into seeing a more stable, balanced type of a figure. And second of all, we have our inverted triangle here. And this is larger on top, smaller on the bottom. And here is an example of 3 different types of suits. Now, a chevron stripe like this helps to draw the eye in, and it even enhances down on the bottom as well, because you have just as much going on down here as you do up top, but the stripes up on top are going this way, and so they're minimizing what you have on top. And in this second example here, it's a very fitted strapless top, and so it kind of holds you in and minimizes here as well, and then it gives a little bit more visual excitement in the center here. So again, you're balancing out that top and bottom. And then over here you have ties on the sides and a wider bottom that kind of helps balance out the top. And just make sure that you're giving yourself enough coverage on top, because if you're fuller on top, you want to be able to be contained. And then with our rectangular body shape, and so this is also known as, say, the boy shape, or the sporty spice, if you will. And so you want to go with suits that have dimension. They have ruffles, they have bows, they have wilder animal print colors and things like that to give you a little bit more dimension yourself. And so you can do 2 pieces or 1 pieces, it doesn't matter, but just make sure that you choose the proper types of each. So here, this 2-piece has a lot of ruffles on the top, so it's giving dimension, it's giving more body, where maybe there's not as much body as you'd like. And then on the bottom, again, there's that same ruffle, it's the same dimension, so it's giving a little bit curvier hips, and it's kind of tricking your eye a little bit to give a little bit more balance and a little bit more flattering of a look to your shape. And here with the 1 piece, this is giving the illusion of maybe a larger cup size. And then here you're fairly slender in the middle, and then you've got the ruching on the sides, and so it's giving you more of an hourglass shape, or it appears that way. And then here with this bikini, there is ruffles on the side, and there's ruffles on the top here, so it's kind of giving a little bit of an example of a cleavage, you know, giving a little shadowing and a little bit of again, dimension. And again with the hips, it does the same thing. It's got the little bit of a va-va-voom on the bottom. And then last but not least, for our hourglass gals, you can do 1 piece, you can do 2 piece, but again, you have to choose the proper type of each. And so here you can go a little bit bigger on the bottom because you've got some curviness, and you want to round out kind of the top and the bottom and make everything feel and appear to be both contained and flattered, you know. And so here up on top, we're drawing the eye up a little bit, so you're still you're cinching in the waist, and so you're just kind of accentuating what you've already got, because what you've already got is pretty good. And here, if you want a little bit more coverage, you can have a little bit longer of a top, and still you've got adequate support on top. Again, you have a little bit larger of a side here, and so you're still accentuating the fact that you have a small midriff and the wider hips and a wider top as well. And here, I think this is one of the most flattering types for this body type, because you've got a little bit of that sexy ruffle and the one shoulder and the higher cut leg, and it's all just keeping everything in sync with what you've already got. It's just kind of polishing it up even more. So those are the examples of the different types of body types that there are, and several different examples of the best types of suits that would flatter each of those shapes. And we hope that you've learned a lot here today, and it is our main goal to empower you to be your most beautiful natural self without having to be cut and stapled and injected and that sort of thing. We tend to think that you're beautiful enough as you are, and we want to see you move forward in a happy, positive, natural way. Thank you for watching. Again, I'm Monica Ensign with Imperfect Pearls.